Hi Gemini, welcome to your week ahead horoscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Gemini, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they speak to you. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your, doing things slightly different this week, my apologies that things are late. I've been dealing with a lot behind the scenes at the moment. So yeah, I'm all I can do is apologize. For your actions and options this week, you have the Seven of Cups. All right, so this week there could be a little bit of you overdoing it. So this week I want you to try and find a moment to rest, and I want you to take something off your plate. Gemini, your actions and options is all about what you do and what you choose to do. The Seven of Cups, yes, it can be confusion and all of those other bits and bobs, but very often I see this card when people are spreading themselves too thin. And this is why I say to you this week, try to take something off your plate. You don't have to do everything all at once, and you don't always have to be all things to all people. This is a moment where you probably need to take a step back, take a step, take a breather, and then really refocus on what should be a priority at this moment in time. So this week I think it's going to be highlighted to you, and the reason I say this, and I truly hope that I'm wrong on this front, but this week I feel like you're going to drop a plate. When you spin so many plates in the air, this week the external world, whether this is through a conversation with a friend, a partner, a kid, one of your own children, with a colleague, somebody's going to highlight to you this week, and I feel like it will come through a conversation. Someone's going to say something to you that makes you go, what? And it may very well see you feeling like you've dropped the ball. That's not the case. It's just that you have too much on your plate. So pay attention to the cues that come from the outside world this week, because they'll let you know that you are spread too thin right now. For your communications and conversations, you have the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands has so far come up in all three of the readings that I've performed so far at this point that I'm recording. And it's funny because when I saw it the second time, I thought, okay, and I think it actually came up in this sector as well. So that's twice now that it's come up in this sector, the third time that it's come up in one of the readings, and these are different decks that I'm using. So the message that I feel like I'm getting is across the wider world stage, we are going to see some sort of negotiations or some sort of talks. If you haven't seen the weekly general, please check it out. I think you'll get a rough idea of what I'm talking about. Now, I don't know why, but I do get the sense that this is going to be a conversation that we see taking place on the wider world stage that is going to highlight to us where something, where the frictions are. I'm not sure if this has anything to do with, the whole royal debate or whatever. I feel like it's going to be more between nation and nation. And I feel like this is talks that are going to start to heat up. Pay attention to what happens on the wider world stage, because I think we're going to start seeing some friction. And if I'm completely honest with you, I know for a fact that everybody, us people on the ground, we're really not fucking interested in, going to another war or whatever. Like, we're really not interested. So whoever the PTB are, whoever the powers that be or whatever, who the people that are in control, do one. Because I'm pretty sure that the rest of us have got enough to deal with, having given, the whole situation that the world has been under. There really is no time for more dissent. There really is no time for, I'm getting on my soapbox now, so shh. Anyway, on a brighter note for you, Gemini, this actually means that you have a... You're able to communicate very clearly this week. Now, you're a master communicator anyway. Of course, we know that about Gemini. But this week, it's like your words have extra weight. It's like your words have extra strength, extra power. And I think this is going to see you returning to, or certainly getting back to feeling more like yourself than maybe you have in a while. And I really enjoy this for you. The fact that you have the Six of Wands as well, this is a successful launch. It's a great thing that you're putting out into the world. This is whatever you are putting out into the world being greatly received. In a lot of ways, this is you shining through the communications that you have. when it comes to for those of you that work for somebody else, this is great. This is the, you know, the recognition for the hard work that you've done up until this point. For those of you that work for yourselves, business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, again, really like this, because it means that in a lot of ways you are starting to become a trusted source. You are starting to become what I would consider at least a little bit of an authority in your own field, which is great. And then for those of you that are retired or no longer working for any reason, your Six of Wands tends to be where you are stepping up to the plate in some way, shape or form. You are stepping into a leadership role. Now that could be for all of you across the board, but I feel like those of you that are retired or no longer working, in some way you're going to be called upon for your expertise. For your money and materials, you have the Eight of Pentacles, working very hard this week. Like really, I mean, you're getting the money, don't get me wrong, you're getting that paper, baby, but you are working. It's like as much money as you're making is as hard as you are working. So, you know, like I said, just remember to take a breather, take something off your plate at some point, especially those of you that are working to deadlines. It looks like some of you are. And this might be the week where, you know, usually Gemini can juggle a million balls in the air. This might be the one week where you can't, and you really feel that you can't. So just pay attention to that, you know, let your body lead the way. Now, speaking of your body, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, your Eight of Pentacles is going to be your stomach, digestive system, all of that. It may be taking a little bit of a hit this week because you're so, not even on edge, but you're just so busy. You know, sometimes when you're busy, you forget to eat. Sometimes you just grab fast, crappy food, you know, just to keep you going while you get through what you need to get through. This week, you could be feeling a little bit, you know, you might suffer a little bit because of it. And if it is going to be anywhere, you'll feel it in the tummy. For your home and environment, again, it's like stacks of paper, one phone on this, the computer in front of you, the text message there, like, do you know what I mean? It's just everywhere. Like everywhere you look, you are surrounded by work, you are surrounded by writing, charts, books, you know. There's a million conversations and it all seems to be stemming from the work. I just want you to get adequate rest so that you can be refreshed and recharged. For your love and relations, not a great card. You have the Seven of Swords. Now, you've got two sevens here. Two sevens represents news. So news, information, new knowledge. Something, for those of you that are in partnerships or relationships, if you guys have been dealing with a problem or an issue together, maybe a legal situation, maybe a challenge with another family member, maybe a challenge with, you know, an ex-partner, whatever challenge you guys have been dealing with as a couple, the Six of Wands is going to give you a little bit of protection there, but the Seven of Swords kind of suggests that it isn't over yet. Excuse me. This is something that I want you to be very well aware of. For those of you that are single, if you are meeting somebody, I'm going to be honest with you, because they come up through the Six of Swords and there's so much going on for you with work, I kind of feel like this might be somebody that's looking for a little bit of clout. You know, it's like, well, if I align myself with this person, you know, I'm going to be seen in a better light. Just be aware of that this week. I know that sounds really harsh, awful and cynical, but that's me. You know me, I'm very honest when I read. So just just have that as a consideration. So your Human Design Oracle card for the week ahead is Shock, the Gate 51. This is an interesting one, right? This week, you may find someone in your midst is, you know, just saying everything and anything shocking. It might be because they want to snap you out of an understanding that you have. It may be because they just want attention. Pay attention to whatever is said this week, though, especially those things that are of a shocking nature. One, I feel like this may be a sensationalist kind of thing. You know, maybe somebody's creating waves just because they want to be noticed. Two, the other way that this could play out, remember you've got the two sevens, and two sevens is news. This could be some news or information that comes to you that happens to be very shocking. And it may make you, you know, maybe this will be the thing that makes you kind of put your feet on the ground and say, no, I have to stop for a minute. What the fuck is going on? Do you know what I mean? Like, just be aware this week, because it's like you've got your nose to the grindstone. You're working so hard that you might just be blocking out everything around you and not seeing what you really need to see. And you know, as they say, hindsight's a bitch, right? Because when you look back, it's like all the signs were there, why didn't I see it? So pay attention to what comes up this week. I don't feel like it's going to be anything specifically detrimental to like you or your health, but it might be information that makes you go, wow, okay, I genuinely missed that. So just keep an eye. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. My apologies that this is late. Take care. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up, and I will see you soon.